What's up, Sweet Lou? I was gonna wear the smock, but it is too hot. It's actually not even that hot. It's just super muggy. What's up, Nick? Brought my iPad out. It's ancient. It's from like 2016. So I don't know how well that's gonna work out, but I got my. I was gonna do the smock, but it is 84% humidity in here right now, so I'm just gonna go with one of my shop shirts, and we're just gonna spray down afterwards. What's up, Rob? Probably need my Google Rest. I was sitting there in the recliner, kind of relaxing. Got a bunch of, thankfully to all of you beautiful people, kept me busy today, packing boxes, orders going out. So typically I would do a live around like 5 or so. And then, what's up, Mike? And then I wanted to make sure that I think I shipped out 8 boxes, maybe 9 boxes today. And I wanted to make sure, I have this very OCD, anal retentive, I gotta make pickup, because I know the quicker that I can get it in the hands of UPS and they get it checked in, the quicker that y'all will actually get your boxes. So rush off over there to get it. I did make pickup, which is good. So if you did order a brush this week, it is officially on the way. Between yesterday, today, I think I got some out earlier this week. But in any case, didn't have a chance to do the live tonight. And then by the time that was over, wife was home. She was wanting to get some dinner. VBS Live wanted me to join, so then I just didn't have time to do a live tonight. And the more I was sitting in the recliner, I was like, I could either fall asleep or I could go live right now. And you can see which option I chose. So that's what we're doing tonight. Agenda for this evening. I have a few that are a couple steps away from being finished. If y'all would like to see, let's go ahead. Let me pull up the iPad. Let's see if we can get the iPad going. Dinosaur of an iPad with 2 bars of Wi-Fi, so this probably won't work, but I'm gonna try to be a little bit more engaged with y'all's comments. I'll do my best chisel and hound impression here to have technology aiding me while you guys are just staring at the lathe bed. With y'all's comments. Oh, we do have it pulled up. Do my best chisel and hound impression here to have technology aiding me while you guys are just staring. We're gonna use this late night as a little dress rehearsal live too, so get a chuck put in while the iPad's catching up. Hopefully loading the comments. If not, we're just gonna Bobby Moffat the comments. What y'all think of that angle? That might be pretty cool. No, Paul, I cannot see comments because my phone is pointed directly at the lathe. What y'all think of that angle? So I'm gonna try to pull up comments on my iPad. But my iPad is about 12 years old, so. Oh, that camera angle looks good from here though. All right, so brushes that are currently available. This one needs a coin. This is a, I can't see if you guys can see that, so hopefully you can, because the light is directly in my eye now as well. This is a nebulous pour, like a nebulous galaxy pour. Really awesome, epic little shifts in there. Like some glittery glimmer gold in there. It's not gold, it's like a purple, but there is like some blue gold shifts in there with some contrasting like galaxy black dye. So that one is available. Yeah, Cutter comes out tomorrow from Cajun Blade. I thought it was August 4th, but apparently he changed it up. This one is half polished, so this one's still getting finished up. This one I'm going to call something like Mario Paint, Paint Explosion, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Something like that, but there are some golds, some blues. Some of the gold and blue merged and became green, and then some beautiful white in there as well. This shape was kind of a big hit with the Heritage Hill collab. This is, I called it Ticonderoga. No idea if I'll ever actually name shapes, but this shape specifically became a big hit with the Heritage Hill collab. So this is the second go at that one. That one is almost done. This is a kind of blue gold shifting, like hued marble pour in a cool kind of unique different style handle shape. A little bit taller, tall, but kind of like a medium tall size. You guys can kind of see there's quite a bit going on in that one, and some whites. I think I even put some shimmery silver in there as well, so some silver going in there. That one needs to be polished, but it is almost there. And then jar style shape coming up. This needs to be sanded and polished, but this one's come down the pipe here pretty soon too. See, this one's got some really wild, like purpley, pinkish magentas, some violet. Look at that gnarly little island right there that formed. Those are really hard to accomplish, and I still haven't dialed that in yet, but that's a beautiful little island there with some of the contrasting like whites in there as well. So that one just needs to be sanded and finished. And that's coming down the pipe. Also still have to finish this one as well. This one's got to get sanded and finished, but this is a beautiful green, purple with some galaxy black dye in there as well. This one is a really cool handle. And this one, I know the camera's not going to do this one justice, but that one is a really cool pour. And then this one just needs to be polished. This is kind of a two-tone pour, like a deep blue hue to it. This is a really cool blue color. I love using this one. This one's actually in one of those other handles. And then this one's got a black, glittery, sparkly ferrule to it too. Really cool shape, super comfortable. Really love that one. That one's got to be sanded and finished. And then this one as well. This is like a deep pearlescent. This has got some of that blue in that last one in it. Very pearlescent, very shimmery, almost has some like through the looking glass kind of vibe to it. This is a shape that I turned live and y'all seem to really love it. So I've done a couple of these since. And that one is ready to be sanded and finished. What's up, Nate? Kelly, these are shaving brush handles for traditional wet shaving. So if you are a lady who enjoys her shaving routine and you want something a little bit different to see what your skin is going to respond to better, highly recommend you looking into traditional wet shaving for your shaving needs. Or if you're a Kelly that's a man and you want to shave your face with a different alternative way to do it, check out traditional wet shaving. All right, a couple blanks that we have coming down the pipe. Also update on the Megazord brushes. This is Eric's White Walker, 36 millimeter White Walker, and that one is fully finished and ready for its gargantuan knot. That one is a real beaut. She came out really, really nicely. You can really kind of see, you can't in this angle probably not, but you can actually see depth to it where you can see some of those Yeti shards in it. And then my prototype, this is the Yeti pour that I did for my 36 millimeter handle. This is kind of how she polished up. So she finished up real nicely. So that's all finished too. Now for blanks and for turning tonight, I don't know how many we're going to get into because it is late and I am getting more and more tired the more I'm in this 85% humidity garage. We have got like I don't really know what to call it. It's like a blue coral. Let's call that blue coral type of vibe. Like that's almost like a coralish pink orange salmony kind of color right there. And then there's some black that should be contrasting throughout. And then like a nice blue, like Caribbean Sea type of a vibe to it. This one, I kind of went for the same effect, but the gold, the interference in this one actually blended a little bit more. And this has got like a deep color shifting red to it that kind of shifts. It should be red to black, but I actually mixed in some red dye. So it actually goes kind of more like red to like deep Merlot. And then some black dye contrasting throughout as well. So we're gonna go with that. And then last but not least, this is a custom request to match a soap label from a soap artisan. So I don't know if he's in here. I can't really see. Thanks, Isabel. Have a good night. I do, Peyton. So this one is a custom that I might cut the tip off of this one real quick on the bandsaw because they want it to be a little bit shorter. So I might actually cut the tip off and do like a stack pour with this one. Let me see how tall this is. 3.1. Maybe not. We might just roll with it and see what the whole thing looks like. Anyways, this is a prototype, so we got that one. I do have, if we really want to get into it, there's another like pseudo Yeti pour that's been sitting over here that I am kind of curious about. So we might get into that one too. Completely agree, Nick. All right, so what y'all want first? Custom, red, or coral? I'm gonna go see if the comments actually pulled up on Instagram real quick. And I can't really see the screen to be able to put these down so y'all, all right, you can kind of see it. There, y'all decide. It doesn't look like, let's try the YouTube app. It doesn't look like the web browser version of YouTube wants to pull up the comments on the iPad. All right, so the iPad is a fail, so we're either gonna have to go back to the old camera angle or just kind of deal with. Is Doug in here? Doug is in here. Okay, well that settles it since it's late. We're gonna do Doug's first. All right. So Doug actually bought a. Everybody's doing like a barrel style handle. Like I think there's some people that think that artisans are copying other artisans when they see a shape come out, but realistically, it's everybody's kind of doing everything. So I don't really look at it like that. So I took a crack at my first barrel shape, and I've only done 2 of them. I think maybe 3. And I made one of them. I kept my first one as my prototype. I sold the other one. Doug actually bought the second one and has been loving it. So he would like this one to be barrel style. Now it is going to be, this one's longer. I think Doug's is like 2.5 inches. So this blank is about 3.1. So we're going to shorten it down just a little bit. Let's get rolling. Now, Doug, do you want me to show the inspiration for this one? Oh, that's why. RPMs are super low. All right, Doug said sure, so we're going to go ahead and grab it. So, Doug wanted me to make him a brush to match the label of, I'm not sure if this will be a full release. I'm going to leave that to Doug to answer questions on that in the comments. But this is his Lakeside Interlude Pump Shave. He calls it a pump shave cream. This stuff lathers as good as any of his bases. It's ridiculous. So he wanted me to make a brush to match this. So that is kind of what we were shooting for. So that's kind of what we got for reference. I'm going to leave that over here just for reference. Let's keep going. That was freaking fantastic. Flip her around. I mean, when you start off looking like that, it's probably going to be pretty interesting. So, Doug, 26? Before I go too narrow. You want 26 on this one? Is that Doug Lane that just answered that? Yes. Okay, cool. Those are some fun shards. Do my best to come up with a similar barrel shape. It's been a minute. So I might flare this a little bit more than I think I did with yours, Doug. Okay, now that lakeside's coming out a little bit. Started roasting marshmallows, and now that lakeside's coming out a little bit. Go ahead and flop her around. I was hoping some of that orange would come out more, but it's probably because this shape is going to leave a lot of meat on the bone down in here. And a lot of those colors are a little bit more concentrated in there. So we might not get the full demo of the pour. But we're going to see what we come up with. you guys have seen, but Hoosier Latheworks, Logan, he does some awesome brushes. He did a few, about a month or so ago, that were in this shape for Josue that were absolutely incredible. Well, not this shape, but like his barrel, his take on a barrel style. And they were unreal. Gotta go lefty to get some of that chatter out of there. Yeah, there we go. Now some of them colors are coming out to play. I got a little ambitious on that coin hole, but it's alright. I'm learning that if I go deeper, it's probably better than if I'm too shallow. So. Little touch of the chip out there. I'm going to clean that up. Alright, get some Abernet on her. So the one thing I didn't really go for, this might be lacking like a true contrasting darker element, like the night sky, or like the blackness on the darkness on the trees in the label. But honestly, coming from the BBS collab, I wanted to focus more on like the true colors in the label, which is a very blue night sky, blue lake, lakeside, some of the fire, evergreens, some of the pines next to the camp, and just kind of go for more of the outdoorsy nature of the label. That's what my thought process was anyways. So it's up to Doug if he thinks that this captures the label and what he was going for. But that little bit of white, you probably can't see it right now. It's actually, it is an opaque white dyed resin, but I did actually add quite a bit of sparkle to it to try to give that full moon peeking through the clouds type of look, similar to what I did with the Guardian collab brushes. See some of that orange and yellow in there for that kind of roaring campfire type of a vibe. And these barrel styles, I have my only gripe with it, I have my prototype, is that I need to come up with a slightly better design to keep the lather above the knot. The lather does, at least my lather, tends to run down it tends to run down the barrel. Honestly, I think I'm just going to make this one consistent, and I'm just going to flatten that front barrel too. It'll sand out better and polish better, which I think is going to look good with this pour even more. Just tone down that little edge right there. Fill the dough. Looks congruent, looks consistent. I like it. Alright, let me finish that barrel real quick. This one won't take long either, so we'll probably wet sand. great deal on some more of these fun little cross pad mandrels that I've been using. I'm going to put one of those to the test right now. These guys. That's what I'm doing wrong. I'm like, why does this not seem like it's going in there straight? I'm not thinking. There we go. All right, let me get the y'all see what this is looking like. What you think, Doug? Doug might have gone to bed. All right, let me just check some of these comments right quick. Try to anyways. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, I'm gonna have to catch up on those in a second. I can't read from this angle. This right here is one reason why there's so many makers that are doing this handle shape. You'll see how sanding is a breeze. The more straightaways you can give us as a maker to sand, the better. So it's also same deal. It ain't exactly copying, but you see something, you're like, dang, I could crank a bunch of those out. That's why some makers are making these a lot, because you can crank these out. They look great. They're super functional. They're easy to sand. They're like a lot of these shapes that y'all see me doing, you'll hear me say in the live, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. That's going to be a pain in the butt to sand. Then you sand something like this, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to make every shape that I do is going to be this one. It is a dupe. What's up, Eric? Eric, we got to talk about the shape for your handle, your 40 millimeter, because I'm probably going to turn that one live tomorrow. Let's see what the wife's got going on, but what's up, Wes? Yes, an homage. There you go. It is funny how there's none of this in software. Everybody does dupes. One artist, there's no software artisan that I feel like can honestly tell me has never done a single dupe. And there's no issues with that. Yet hardware, you get guys that have similar looking razor handles or shaving brush features that aren't exact copies, and then all of a sudden, or even there's some artisans that get really upset over if you have the same forename as them. That's a very common word in the English language, and it's not even the same colors. I have no idea why that's like such a thing. I saw it as a consumer. I see it now as a maker. It just still kind of like bewilders me. Unless there's somebody sitting here with that exact maker's brush cranking out 500 of them. I don't know. It's a very interesting dichotomy that nobody ever says anything about that with software. gonna tell you what, if all of a sudden I see a bunch of makers making a bunch of jar style handles, first of all, I didn't invent the jar style. There were people making jar styles way before I started turning, probably 300 years ago. I mean, that's how they got jars. But if I all of a sudden see a bunch of makers doing a similar pour that I've done, or shape that keeps recurring that I've done a lot of, I don't necessarily view that as you're just straight copying me and cease and desist. I kind of take that as a compliment and like, oh shoot, I must be doing something cool that they want to try it out, or a lot of people must be liking it. I don't know. 11:45 at night, soapbox. All right, there we go, Doug Lane. One step closer. What do you think? I tried not to go. Let the air compressor calm down for a second to get this out the way. Try to swap out. All right. I tried not to go like super green. I knew I was going to do that with the lid. Tried not to go super green, but I wanted to make sure that we got some of those trees in there because it is like lakeside. And then there's, you can see some of the bonfire kind of coming up and that little bit of wisp from the moonlight shining through everything. The blue, I think the blue is actually pretty close. Maybe it could be a touch lighter, but for a V1 pour, what y'all think? You guys think that matches? There are much more matchy guys in the comments than me. Do one more douse. I'll show that label one more time. And I didn't want to go too fire heavy. I wanted to focus on that lakeside beautiful blue. Because Doug, I don't know where you got. I mean, I know where you get your labels from, but either way, that shade of blue is freaking gorgeous in that label. So I'm gonna catch up on the comments real quick now, and then we're gonna establish what we've got. But there is number one, barrel style. I think it's going to be pretty close to yours. This one's probably a little bit more refined, but I think it's going to be pretty similar to yours. Gosh, did I bore that super deep? That looks really deep. We went a little deep on the socket there. I don't know how we ended up doing that, but you can fit any knot you want in there now. That's usually I bore them 22. That's actually at 20. Or sorry, at 20. That's at 22. All right. Get stuff out the way. Get the tripod situated. I hope y'all enjoy that angle. Adopted Acres Blue, you can't use it. All right, what have I missed? Are we picking on Rob? Appreciate the warning, Bill Lewis, about wearing the ring. I will definitely take that into consideration. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this late of an entry for Blizzard battles. Difference between a barrel and a jar. Barrel, jar. Much more rounded, totally different feel and grip on it, totally different ergonomics, different lip on the ferrule as well. Barrel. Menthol soaps. Yeah, so I think you'll see it more in the polish, and you can't see it with this angle and the lighting, but there's definitely flakes of like shimmer in the white, Jordan. Oh, thanks, Mike. I'm really happy you love the finish. The finish is a lot of work, and you guys have seen it's stepped. Majority of my time is spent on the finish, but I think that's the most important part. Talking about Lemon Pledge, Fabuloso. What's up, Wes? The Doug style? We could do that. The Dougal. We'll go with the Dougal style. Green Irish tweed handle. We could do that. Sister Rabbit. You would like... Sister Rabbit, do you want me to turn yours now? See, I thought you were going to want a longer handle being a lady shaver and a leg shaver until your brother informed me. So we definitely overshot on the blank. So we might get 2 out of yours. So I'm definitely going to slice yours in half. I can turn yours right now if you want, or we can wait until tomorrow. All right, good. Doug is loving it. Really happy to hear it. Is Chad in here? Yeah, the scent on this is like unreal. It's like such a great cologne-y outdoor scent. Oh, what's up, Peter? And Mr. Juan is in here, and now we are finally back. All right, that's number 1. We're gonna wait on Sister Rabbit. So, all right, next up, what y'all want? We can go that kind of red color shifter one. A jar barrel, you say? All right, I know what shape we're gonna do next. Sorry, Sister Rabbit, you answered a little too slow because I don't want to let this shape escape me now that Eric just mentioned it. So we're gonna roll with that one right now. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm still sitting in my dirty pee pants. All right, I don't know what this is going to look like. This is a tester blank, so what better way to just test this jar barrel shape out? I mean, it can't be a copy of anything because it came from an idea from the audience, so. they say, you come up with a shape, you got to buy it. First ever jar barrel. We'll see what we got. The new ones on camera either go really, really poorly or somewhat cool. Some reference there. Not to just completely destroy this blank right now by using the small tool, but it's kind of what it's made for. And one of those little situations where I said I put myself in a hole where I have a nightmare to sand. This is one of them. For science. anybody buys this one, it's going to be one of those guys that's like, yeah, I like stuff that looks a little, got some stuff to it. Theirs will chip out. That's what I was worried about. See if we can recover. Oh yeah, she is butchered. This part of the turn is called adapt and overcome. There's still a bunch of chips in there. Alright, so it's not going to be a jar barrel like I wanted, but we're still going to work on the other part. And that's how quickly a chip out can completely change your plans. Still one more in there. See how this one turns out, but I might have a new 26mm brush if this is hideous. Still one more little chip in there. Let's go ahead and flip her around. Let's check out that pour. A couple little nicks. They might come out with sanding though. boy, you want to talk about vibrant? How about that for a vibrant red, huh? I mean, this is still a very salvageable handle. It's just, it won't be quite what I had envisioned in my head because of that chip out. I think y'all kind of saw where I was going, and then I had to fix it. There's only happy accidents. Actually, this might be a really cool repeatable pour. I didn't accomplish what I wanted to with this pour, but it's looking like it's still going to be really sexy. I feel like now it's just going to end up looking like a normal handle. Alright, well, we saved it. And we made the coin hole super deep. Alright, so what I was going for, this one's not super ergonomic in the hand, but it's just a little pokey back in here. Not too bad, but might just round that off. Y'all know how I am with ergonomics. I like to use that word quite frequently. Surprised at how just rounding and numbing that little edge right there, how much more comfortable that's going to make it. Yeah, it's way less pokey in the hand. Alright. So, didn't accomplish what I wanted to. I was really going for like jar top third with a finger cup in the middle and then the barrel so that you really kind of gripped it like that. And then we had that massive chip out up underneath the collar there, so I had to fix that. But that's essentially what turning is. There's so much that you got to do on the fly. I'll tell you what, this pour is going to look really nice when there's some alcohol on it. Catch up on the comments here when I get going on this one. Getting this tight down in there, that's where it gets like impossible to get those sanding lines out. Flip flopper. Oh, we do have a couple of fun blanks in the pot right now that I can break out and show y'all. We've been going for 80 minutes. Yeah, I can break them out. good piece of Avernet. This one is biting real good. You know, you got great timing because this core is about to be fire. Yeah, that got hot real quick. All right, let's get that mandrel in there. I have not seen the comments. Was anybody interested in this one, or do you want to see the pour first? I should probably just wet sand it right now real quick, but it's getting late. I could also get another turn in. If somebody wants this and they've planed it, please let me know, and then I will wet sand it. If not, I'll just throw it, I'll put the mandrel in it, and we'll get rolling on something else. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that one. This one, I'm not gonna lie, I mean I say it all the time, but this one has got some depth to it. Let's see where the camera's at. Right there, okay. There we go. I don't know if y'all can see all those ships in there. What y'all think? Pretty cool? Alright, we're gonna leave that one fork up for a second. Let me catch up on the comments. Let me gain my sanity back from no shop vac. Oh, thanks, Kelly. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you tune in and you enjoy it. A lot of people have been expressing a lot of enjoyment from these, so I'm really happy that you're enjoying it. What's up, Craig? All right, let me back up. Wes is probably gone, but good night, Wes. Matte unpolished looks good there too. Double barrel. Okay, now we're good. Yeah, I'm actually drinking water. I have a really, not a terrible headache, but a pretty rough headache right now. I've had it all day, so I figured I need to get some water in. Not gonna repeat Eric's comment there. Okay, yeah, Sister Rabbit we'll do tomorrow. Yeah, actually, that round cutter needs to be changed. That head is super dull. Happy Trees 3.0. Nick's buying his Sunday brush. Shush, JJ. Might as well put some grooves in the back part. Michael Curtis, if you are still in here, welcome. Sungyin, hello. Krispy Kreme glaze. Uh-oh. Sister Rabbit retracted a comment. What are you saying? That's stunning. Do baby rabbits. I don't know if she's still in here. We're gonna wait. I want to make sure it's her first. I think it's her first custom artisan brush. So I want to make sure that she can watch it turned. So what y'all think of that last one though? This one's it's got some crazy like gold and red shifts in it. Even there you can kind of see it a little bit. That one fully polished. That one's gonna be redonkulous. Trying to think what else we got. We've got actually back on the market. Where is it? Crack these pressure pots too. Back on the market is this one is a Stunner Nebula pour blank. So if y'all want, I can start showing blanks if you guys want to lay claim to blanks. This one was claimed in the last live, and then a gentleman just decided he's as we all have, we've got to slow down our purchasing a little bit. So this one was claimed, but now back on the market. This one has some crazy nebulous shifts in it. That one is back available, or just to be turned as well. We crack these pressure pots. inside. I actually don't remember what I did with this one. Oh, now I do. Actually, is Juan still in here? Okay. Y'all ready for these cool ones? So since Juan is in here, one of the ones that you bought, I just poured this one and I just grabbed a couple colors that I thought would look good. I was like, man, why is this reminding me of something? This one's got some more glimmer shimmer to it than yours, but I think I inadvertently poured similar colors to the that like silver blue one that you just bought from me a couple weeks ago. So this is one that just came out the pot, so that'll get cooked. Might get turned early next week. There's some glimmer shimmer in it. That one should be pretty cool. There's like some blue and like it's almost like a green goldish tone type of a deal. I have a feeling that might end up looking like the one that you got, Juan. Like completely, I just picked two colors and then I was like, oh damn, I think that ended up being Juan's. This one should be really cool. This has been in the works for a couple months now. I've had a honeycomb 3D print file for a while now. And I've just been lazy, haven't made a silicone mold of it to try to create my own honeycomb mold. Finally did that today. So this is literally going to be the first ever Abominable Creations Yeti comb. I don't know if y'all can see that in there. Yeti comb, baby. So we're gonna see how that turns out. Like I said, we went a little bit more sparkly of a Yeti than I would have liked to. I have no idea how, this is literally my first go with it, so I have no idea how this one's gonna turn out. But that's kind of the fun in it though. So we have got a Yeti comb in there, baby. Now, just based off of the comb, I think there's some tweaks and improvements that I'm gonna have to make. But we're gonna see. So I don't know if I'll end up keeping this one since it is the first one, because if I do that every time I do a first one, I'm gonna have 90 brushes. So provided this doesn't finish horribly and this looks okay, this will probably end up getting a Regal Yeti coin. Just because it is the first. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to figure out a shape for it. But y'all saw it here first. Yeti comb. Alright. What y'all think? Should we do one more? Yeah, Ice Fire. What's up, 80 Dubstep? Alright, should we do one more? What y'all think about doing this coral, I don't know, blue coral? Like blue Hawaiian. Why don't we call this blue Hawaiian? There you go, blue Hawaiian. All right, let me hydrate up some more. So, Nick, the Yeti comb literally just came out the pot, so it's nowhere near cured. So that's, if I let it sit out in the shop, it takes about, in the heat, about 3 to 4 days to fully cure. But that's why I use the lab oven, because that kind of speeds up the cure on it. And basically you want it to be fully cured because that maximizes the hardness of the blank. And then it actually, I can turn it like about a day after coming out of the pressure pot. But I always wait for a full cure to polish it because they polish way better fully cured. But trust me, I'm chomping at the bit for it too. All right, let me get this camera fixed again. How are y'all liking this camera angle, by the way? You liking the top down? What's up, Brett? Oh, also on dock for tomorrow, I think. Need to get a shape from Eric. We got two 40mm blanks that I'm gonna try to get conquered tomorrow. This is his Mardi Gras blank. I did the tester blank for this live the other day, and it came out really nicely. So I'm really curious to see how the big boy of it comes out. And then this is my 40mm Bills themed brush. So I think we're gonna do those live tomorrow. Like I said, this beautiful nebulous one is available. So this blank wasn't poured quite as well, I don't think, as this one, but it will probably have like similar sort of effects as that one, but I think it's going to be a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more pronounced. So we're going to give that one a go at some point as well. All right, right now we're going to do blue Hawaiian though. Boom, let's crack her, let's see what's going on. And we might just do just a lathered Yeti signature, or one of the ones I've been doing lately. Actually, I think we're gonna do that. We're just gonna do a round boy of one of the ones I've been doing lately. That sounds good to me. Get my glasses back. And then Brett, since you just joined. Oh, I forgot, I poured this one too. This is Jedi Master Yoda blank. That's got like some white with like a couple little Jedi green colors in there. Brett, worldwide exclusive. the first Yeti comb. Been planning this for a couple months. Finally got that bad boy poured. So that's gonna get curing, and we'll probably turn that one live on Monday. All right, let's get at this one though. We are going to rotate this cutter a little bit, but I really just need to change my head on it or sharpen it. 2 or 3 months on this head. She's led a good life, but I'm cheap. Hawaiian, baby. Dye does not want to mix. Alright, well, we got some work to do. I don't know how I feel about that. Alright, well, this one's going to be a little bit more plain Jane than I would have wanted. But there's a little bit there. I've been having this trouble where you got to mix the dye really thoroughly. Otherwise it can create these little pockets. And that's what happened there, so then I got to take down the pocket, and then it screws your whole shape up. So this one's probably not going to be a sellable brush, but I'll just keep it for me. That sucks, but at least we know about the pour. All right, next one. We'll show off the pour though. She was looking beautiful though. So that's too bad, but at least I know I can recreate the pour. All right, let's do this one real quick. This is another nebulous one. This one was poured a little bit differently. Than the other ones. So we're gonna see kind of what this one looks like. Yeah, Yoda and SOTDs. I'm saying we could call it Grogu. See how this one's looking? Yeah. Wow, look at that blue. Yeah, this is a nebula pour. This isn't like the big bad blank one, but this is a nebula pour. This one was poured a little different style, so that's why I'm curious how this one looks. And I'm liking it so far. This one is the kind of the perfect length for my signature shape, so I think we're going to shoot for that. Glitter. I was like, I don't know how there would be air bubbles on the bottom, but it's glitter. Alright, I'm not going to go any more narrow on there because I'm getting close to the socket. But we are going to work on that shape. There's like a little top part right here. caliper. Kind of what we're looking. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I figured this would have almost like a darker nature to it, whereas some of the other ones might be a little bit more of that like nebulous heavy. So it's kind of cool to see like the difference. Love it. Super comfortable. Super comfortable. Alright, I'm running out of gas for sure. I think I got alcohol all over my apronette. Wet sanding with alcohol? Maybe it's water. Yeah, some of these shifts are going to be pretty damn cool. I actually really like the way this one poured. I might have to revisit the way I poured this one. I think I'm going to get a new sheet. Flip her around. And just streams everywhere. I don't know how much y'all can pick it up, but basically the lathe looks like a silly string party from 7-year-old silly string party at Chuck E. Cheese. stretch. Here we go. I'm sure y'all are getting snoozy too. I didn't say Suzy Q, I said snoozy too. Cut that now. That beautiful red one that we did earlier, the jar barrel shape fail. Perfect. All right, let's show this one off, huh? Wow, just pop. Freaking love those like nebula colors in there. So sweet. That little pop right there. Like just look at that explosion of colors right in there. That's pretty good. Pretty good signature shape too. What y'all think about that one? One last look. Like just look at that right in there. Pretty cool. All right, question and answer time. Y'all got any questions, comments on, I'll catch up on the comments here in a second. Spray it off here. All right, I'm gonna catch up on these comments now. How to get drunk, toe up from the flow up. What was the deal about an Englishman jumping? Juan, are you so I know you're Louisiana, are you a big Mardi Gras guy as well? Because I can replicate that pour. Listen, I'm working with Eric to try to get me a king cake baby as well. I don't know if y'all want better or worse. To try to get me a king cake baby as well for potential casting. Mike, if you are still in here, I do not video myself mixing pours to go back and watch, but that's not a horrible idea. I do have a this is my Coach Klein playbook. So I do have that I do write pours down in. But I have not videoed myself. I would love to bring y'all along. Of course, I got freaking black dye on my hands. Literally just going over there to pick something up, and I got dye all over my shirt. Oh well, that's why it's a shop shirt. Sorry, Razor Company. I would love to bring y'all along for pours, but unfortunately that is like asking a chef to share every secret ingredient with you. So that, if I was not good at it, I would love to bring it along, but I actually feel like my pours are one of the only things that are like making me somewhat competitive. Way you turn the base of your brushes is really comfortable. Really like the way my Tiger Borealis feels. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that one. That shape in particular as well. There's some that I let go. It would be so easy for me to hoard this stuff, like being a recovering brush whore to begin with, and now making them. It would be so easy for me to just hoard this stuff. So it's really hard to let some of these go. Yours was one of them. More so, I mean, the pour is freaking gorgeous on it. The shape, though, when I get a really good shape that I'm like, that's fantastic. That's going to be really hard to like replicate. It's really hard to let that leave the house. Yours, that Tiger Borealis is one of them. Mardi Gras, favorite holiday by far. Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to have to make you a Mardi Gras brush at some point in the future then. JJ, that is like one of the highest compliments you could give me, so I appreciate you saying that. And trust me, I know how that goes because I was there watching the brush makers as well. On that note, gentlemen, any ladies that are in the audience, any other questions? I do have videos of brushes that are like ready to be shipped out. I took them in low light. One of the better brush makers on the market actually saw my post and reached out and offered some really great advice to take the videos at like twilight to show off the finish a lot better, and it worked. Doesn't show off the pores quite as well, but I do need to post those. But there are, I think there's 2 that are claimed. I think like 6 that are claimed. This one I did turn live the other day. This one's ready to roll. I'm pretty sure y'all were on here when I turned this one, and this one finished absolutely exquisite. And look at that wonderful blue hue in there with that kind of magenta purple and that translucent purple in there as well. And that one's got my lathered Yeti coin in it. So that one is good to go. That one's ready to be shipped out. If anybody wanted it, I think Bent Hill claimed one. That one's ready to go. Yeah, Rob, you're getting up there. Rob, did we succeed in getting you one of every coin? Well, not every coin, but are all 5 that you have, they're all different coins, right? I hope. I tried to be cognizant with the other 2. Holy cow, it's 1:46 in the morning. And we've been going for almost 3 hours. Good Lord. I thought this was a shorter live. Awesome. Glad to hear, Rob. Do you guys like that you can change it up with coins too? Like, that was kind of the goal, was to, every coin kind of gives the brush a little bit different personality, a little bit different vibe. And it's not like, I want, my goal would be to make every time you guys decide by the grace of God that you want to buy one of my brushes, every time that you do, it's a little bit different experience with it, and not just with a pour or a wood type or anything like that. Everything, it doesn't, I don't want it to feel the same every single time. And I'm working on the packaging. Unfortunately, with my situation right now, I have to be kind of bare bones with what I'm spending money on. So unfortunately, the packaging right now is going to stay kind of boring, but the hope is that it's not the same. And this is nothing against other brush makers. There's some amazing ones out there, but I have multiples from multiple brush makers, and it got to the point where I was buying so many daggum brushes that it was almost like you're on autopilot. Oh, cool. Okay, brush pour looks cool. Okay, cool. Set it to the side. Throw it in the trash. We'll throw the box in the trash. Freaking black dye there too. That is not what I want y'all to feel when you open up an Abominable Creations brush. I want y'all to like be excited to see a new coin. Be excited to see the new pour. How did I, like, this is what happens with dye. This is why I don't come out here at 2 a.m. anymore. So that's kind of the goal with the coins, and hopefully one day the packaging will be a little bit upgraded too. But we're still working out the kinks. We're still kind of, I wonder if that was from one of the brushes. But awesome, Juan. I'm glad that you are, like, which one do you have, Juan? You have, I think you have Lathodamus, which is the Scholar, and what did I put in Borealis? Voodoo, I think I put Voodoo Origins because you're from Louisiana. I think that's what I did there. I did actually count the amount of coins that I have. Well, the concepts that I have for coins. I have 33 different personas drafted right now. And I have a lot of people that approach me with, hey, why don't you, I need this Yeti. Hey, I need this as a Yeti persona. Hey, why don't you do this one for me? And I'm like, I love the enthusiasm and the ideas, but I could easily have like 118 coins before I know it. So, trying to be within reason too. The other little plan that I might have up my sleeve, if I can ever get my life situation resolved, is changing up the stickers and making some of the coins and stickers. Because we're also getting to a bottleneck where a couple of y'all have been wonderful and bought multiple brushes from me on multiple different orders. And I try to put a sticker in with every brush, but I'm also kind of getting to the point where I'm like, do they really want 5 lathered Yeti stickers just kind of sitting around? So I'm wanting to change it up and incorporate the coins a little bit more in other aspects. Little late night live tip, people that watch the replay. Raju, I am in Florida. Where are you, my friend? Yeah, Rob, and that's like, I want to make it more collectible for y'all, but I also don't want it to get to the point where you're obligated to buy a brush. I want y'all to see a pour, fall in love with the pour, have the pour mean something to you, love the shape, whatever it may be. And then the different coin is like a trading card aspect, like bonus on top of it. I don't want to get to the point where I have like, it'd be cool and I could, but like I didn't realize that I already had like 33. Like that's a lot. So that's why I'm kind of trying to like rein it in a little bit. I might go into like some rotations. And I'm trying to rotate through like the mainstay coins too. But and then the pour specific ones will only be like when those pours come out or when I do one of those, like that type of a deal. Somehow I haven't even intentionally poured that many molten pours lately, but between JJ's like Flight of the Phoenix or Phoenix Rising, whatever I call that one, and the one that Delwyn grabbed the other day from the live, it inevitably I've gone through a couple more molten coins than I would have thought. Moonlit Reverie was the silver, blue, green. Was in that one though. I think that was Latherdamus, which is the scholar looking one. So Regal only goes out for, it's like a very special set of scenarios. It's got to be like a first pour of its kind. The finish has to be superb. The shape has to be on point. That's why Regal is the rarest one, because if I'm going to make a Regal, and y'all have kind of noticed how hard I am and my standards for myself, if I'm going to make a Regal, if you see a Regal available, I'm not trying to create FOMO or demand, but I want you to know, like, oh, damn, that's a Regal. I should probably hop on pop. So the Regals don't. When was the last time I had a Regal? Oh, it went unclaimed on Instagram for like 2 weeks and then, or 3 weeks. I couldn't believe it. I was actually excited. I was about to keep it. And then somebody actually came across the post and they said they wanted to buy it. So that's like, I think I've only had 3 Regals in the last 3 months. Couple of backups. Yeah. All right. Y'all got any other questions? I'm burning into, I'm going to go into, yeah. So if you recall, JJ, that's what I was telling you at Maggard's, was that that's my Regal coin, which is my rarest one. So now you have a lot more context in it than you did at Maggard's. But I think, Rob, I think you have one, right? I think you ended up, what was the, I think you ended up with one. Oh, no, it wasn't your Yeti one. What was the other one you got? I can't remember. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to call it. Thanks, everybody, for joining. This is a late night one. I am getting sleepy, and I'm wanting to go regretfully not take my contacts out and sit in the recliner and probably depressively binge eat some fruit snacks while I watch Below Deck. And inevitably probably fall asleep in the recliner with my contacts in. So that's how my Saturday nights usually end. I will catch y'all on the next one. I don't know what time I'll be live tomorrow, but most likely I will be live at some point tomorrow. I'm probably going to do these 40 millimeters. And I got a couple other blanks over here that I showed off. So, all right, gentlemen. See y'all.